Welcome to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. Are you a goofball that loves Giants football? If so, sit back and relax. Except you, that person driving. Sit up and keep your eyes on the road. Your ears, though, can still listen as we talk about the team that both excites and frustrates us so much. And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined as always by...
me, Rob.
It's you!
Let's talk about some of the bigger contracts.
Oh, we got some big contract talk to give you guys here today, because, whew, what a day. If you guys are like me, I was literally staring at my phone all damn day, going, what's the update? What's going on? What's going to happen? And whew, talk about bring us down to the last possible minute. But at the last possible minute we had, guess what we had, Rob?
Breaking news.
We did. Oh yes, so we have Daniel Jones has signed a deal, 4 years, $160 million. Yes, I said 160. He got his $40 million a year for a guy who threw 15 touchdown passes last season. I just have to throw that in, sorry. I know he ran the ball a lot in the touchdowns as well. I know. Rushing touchdowns count for 6 as well. But he's a quarterback. He's a quarterback. You're supposed to throw him. So, we now officially have our quarterback at least for the next couple of years. And then, right after that happened, the Giants went around and tagged Saquon Barkley. He's got a non-exclusive tag, folks. So what that means is, any team can go ahead and sign him. But, if they do, they have to give us 2 first-round picks. I think it's safe to say that no one's going to give us any first-round picks for Saquon Barkley. Yeah. I think that's pretty safe to say. I mean, you don't give up usually 1, let alone 2 first-round picks to get a running back.
And if we do, we'll get a run back.
Oh, hold on, Rob. I got breaking news just in again. I have a live shot here of Daniel Jones. Live shot.
Uh-oh.
There he is. There's Daniel Jones there counting his money, because that man just got paid.
He got paid big time.
He got paid so big time. It's like this man, whatever, you know what? I was frustrated yesterday. I think it was pretty obvious with him, and I thought he waited too long to change his agent out. But damn, he made the right move apparently, because the other agent told him he was crazy. This guy got him the $40 million.
Yeah,
he got him his $40 million.
It kept every Giant fan and pretty much most of the Giant personnel on their toes. And literally, Joe Schoen had to exit that meeting with DJ's agents to jump into the next conference room and be like, "Tag, you're right."
Yeah, and what I heard, him and the agents for Jones were getting into it a little last night. It wasn't like as friendly as you would have hoped to be. Not that it ever got to the point of unprofessional. I don't want to make it seem like I'm making it seem like it was, something crazy. But yeah, it was definitely getting where you can tell that Shane was feeling the pressure, so to speak, of the fact that he had 24 hours to go, and that's it. And for whatever reason, these guys were just dragging their feet on this.
Because you got paid $40 million. That's why they dragged their feet.
Yes.
It's 100% why they dragged their feet.
Listen, it's like when you go buy a car. You know what the best deal is you got? The one they let you leave with. They gave him the best deal. But from everything you read today, Shane basically gave him a final offer. It's like, we're done. That's it. So now the question is, who blinked first? When it was like 10 minutes left to go. Because keep in mind, this contract went in 5 minutes before the tag deadline. 5 minutes. That's it.
Yeah, just about.
So, it makes you wonder, did Shane go to Jones and go, hey, listen, you want to play with Barkley? You got 5 minutes. Or did Jones' people go to Shane and say, you want to pay him $32 million this year? I think that's the bigger issue for the guys, the Giants, is the cap. So we should get a little...
I mean, financially, so he's getting $40 million. If you would have tagged him, you got 32.
No, but here's the thing, though. Right. So he didn't, though. He didn't get $40 million. And this is the beauty of NFL contracts.
Oh, yeah.
It's all fugazi.
Oh, 100%. It's fugazi.
So,
but I'm just saying, if you turn around, just hypothetically, and even if you sign
Barkley, turn around
every now and then, all right, I hear what you're saying. If you tag him, you don't have to pay him. You have to pay him $32 million compared to the $25 he's about to get, which you can get into.
Well, he's got $19 million is the cap hit for this year now. So $19 million for him, another $10 million over to Barkley with the tag. So for $29 million, the next season here, these two are Giants, which is huge on the cap. So we have about $17 million left in cap space now, after signing the two biggest, free agents that we're going to have to sign, basically. And John S. Anderson Jr. Oh God, oh dear God, they're singing now. LOL. Come on, John, we sing every episode. You know it.
Just about. Come on now.
This is how we do it. So, but that's a huge thing. So we have $17 million left. And that's before we do anything to the contracts on the books otherwise. Keep in mind, we talked about this earlier. We have a couple guys we can drop to save $1 million here or there. We can save $2.5 million by cutting Darnay Holmes. We can go ahead and restructure Leonard Williams or potentially cut him if we have to.
I was about to say.
We're going to get another probably, if I had to guess, we're probably going to get another $15 million in cap space on top of that. Because
I was going to say
if not more,
like 10, 12.
Yeah, I don't want to do something crazy and be that guy. We're going to get $15 million back in cap space. Like, no, that's insane.
I mean, I was also conservative with DJ's, money, thinking it's going to be 36, 38, and he walks away at 40. So hopefully, I'm wrong with this.
That was apparently a sticking point from him. Everything you read, that was a sticking point. He wanted the 40. That had to be done. And that's why you remember Jordan Ronald said a couple of days ago, there's going to be a 4 in front of the number. He probably had known that Daniel Jones point blank was not going to sign unless it was 40. But he barely got the 40.
I mean,
so you can kind of say both guys kind of won to a certain degree. So this makes him the 7th highest paid quarterback or NFL player even in the league right now. 7th highest. And, people are going to look at that going, oh my God, that's insane. I want people to recognize something in this whole thing. Right now it's insane. Right now.
By the time this contract's over, it's going to be average.
Not even by the time the contract is over. Let's look at the guys in the next year that are going to get signed, okay? Joe Burrow. You think he's going to beat $40 million?
Oh, he's going to get like 55.
Justin Herbert. You think he's going to beat the $40 million?
Oh, hands down.
Jalen Hurts. You think he's going to beat the $40 million?
He's going to set the new records. That's what he's going to do.
Yeah.
If he continues to play the way he did.
So,
not that I want to give them that props, but props to him.
Lamar Jackson.
Oh.
That put.
No,
seriously, he's going to get paid. Trust me, he's going to get paid, and he will get paid more than Jones. So you're looking at now. That right there puts Jones at number 11. Now, is it crazy to say that Daniel Jones is the 11th best quarterback in the league?
It's not far off.
That's not that crazy. I'm not saying he's a top 10 quarterback, but I'm saying he's in that B tier right now. And that contract puts him in that B tier. by the time you add those guys in that are going to get paid any day now. Because you got Justin Herbert after next year will get paid. You got Jalen Hurts will get paid probably this offseason. You got Joe Burrow this was his fourth year in the league? Or third year?
I thought it was third.
Third or fourth?
I think it's his third because Chase came right after him. This is Chase's second year.
Correct, yeah. So that means he's able to get paid now. Because you can pay somebody after 3 years with a first-round contract. So he's about to get... I mean, that's what I'm saying. All these guys are about to get paid. This contract is not going to look bad at all. John S. Anderson Jr. asked, what happens, if they get Saquon a new contract? How will it affect us money-wise? And John, I'll tell you this right now. Saquon is depressed because this man was offered $12.5 million at the bye week. Turned it down. Point blank, turned it down. Just didn't want to deal with it. Thought he was worth like $14 to $16 million. Well, now he's going to play for $10 million. And if you're Joe Schoen, why would you even consider an extension that has anything less than $10 million? That doesn't have anything less than $10 million that first year. Why would I give you more money? I don't have to. Don't have to.
Yeah.
And if he does give him more money, I'll be disappointed.
I mean, remember what Joe Schoen said? The whole thing is about getting his cap space down. I mean, like you said, he got the tag. We would have to lose. They would have any team that wants to match or pay him that we don't match, right? They have to give us 2 first rounds. No one's paying us 2 first rounds. I very highly doubt anyone's going to pay us.
I doubt anybody give us 1.
Yeah. So
somebody may give like a second or a third round pick for Barkley, but no one's crazy enough for that. I mean, don't get me wrong. He had a great year. He's a great player, but he's still a running back.
He was injured half his career so far.
Yeah.
I mean, what I could see is like that tag, the way it happened so fast. It's going to be like a wink, nod, like, hey, take this now, and we can figure something out where you might make a couple more bucks.
Nod.
But I mean, they might say, hey, take $9 million this year or $8 million, and we'll give you 14 the following, 13.
So I'm looking here over the cap. Over the cap doesn't have Jones on there yet, probably because they're waiting on specific numbers and all. They have us at $36.7 million left in the cap. We already know that $19 million of that is going over to Daniel Jones based on everything you're hearing here. So obviously we're going to cut Kenny Golladay. I think that's pretty fair to say, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's already announced to the world.
Yeah. So that right there puts us at 43. So again, with the $19 million offered for him, that you get now $24 million. And all you've done is cut Kenny Golladay. And we all know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Guys, we have money. We're no longer playing in Ross and Marshalls. And I'm not saying let's go for broke and get the most expensive guy we possibly can. But if they want to go out and get a Jacoby Meyer this offseason, they can do it. They'll have to pay him less money the first year, obviously. But they can do it. You know, if they want to go out and get the biggest name linebacker they want, they can do it. Again, I don't suggest making crazy moves. I'm not saying that. But they have the money to do whatever Joe Schoen sees fit now. As John asked now, but would it spread it out? So wouldn't that help us with the money this year? That's what I'm saying, John. If they do go ahead and give him a new contract and say, you know, we don't want to tag you after all, we'll get the new contract done. The first year number will be less than $10 million. So it's all about how they structure it past that. That's a whole different thing. But you're not going to give him a long-term deal because he's a running back. You're going to give him maybe 3 years max. So let's say you give him 3 years, $36 million, hypothetically, okay? So that way you give him the $12 million, whatever that you were talking about initially. You're going to give him, let's say, $8 million the first year. So now you got $8 million out of the 36 done. You still got $28 million, so you're going to pay him $14 million in years 2 and 3. I'm okay with that, as long as I can get out after 2 years.
Agreed. I mean, we've been saying that for weeks now.
Yeah, I think that's fair right there to do. If you can get him some more money and some security that way, make him happier. Because I'm not out here to screw Saquon. Don't get me wrong. Like I am not trying to say let's screw over Saquon every chance we get. What I am here to say is don't overpay for a guy who's injury prone at an injury prone position that we don't have to. He's already ours.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Yeah, so
you just buy a brand new BMW last year. You're not going to go in and trade it in and pay more money for it.
No.
For the same car.
No. But, like I said, if it helps us a little bit and gives him a little more financial stability like that, and he feels happier, then I'm all for it. I don't want to have a disgruntled running back who's, from all reports there, a bigger addition to the team, not just talent-wise, but personality-wise. This guy's a leader in the locker room. This guy's the guy that you keep seeing as like the face of the franchise, so to speak, there. But I think it's pretty safe to say that because of this contract alone, you're going to see Daniel Jones now move as the face of the franchise, whether he wants to be or not, whether the Giants want him to be or not. Because you take that kind of paycheck, that's what goes along with it.
Yeah, 100%. He is going to be the new, quote-unquote, Eli, if you will.
Whoa, let's not call him Eli.
I just say quote-unquote, like.
Yeah, I won't go that. I won't go that. But,
like Eli didn't talk that much, and he became the head of the franchise. Just got paid his money.
Listen, he's only the same personality type as Eli. And I think some fans will forget, too, that Eli Manning made a lot of money as a quarterback. He was if I remember correctly, he was at one point the highest paid player in the NFL.
Maybe. I don't think it was for a full season. I think it was like an off-season deal. He got paid high, and then
still that means he was top 5, top 3 in the league at that point. Still, so it's not like he was Tom Brady giving the friendly deals and taking all these discounts. Not that I'm saying they have to, but now that it's over, and he signed the deal, I don't hold any more animosity against Jones. I don't.
He's got all his system last night.
Oh, dude, I was livid last night because this is not what I saw happening. What I saw happening was him refusing it, him taking the tag, us losing Barkley, us having to pay this guy how much more. I mean, think about it. We just talked about we're paying Barkley and Jones this year $29 million. Now imagine telling me we're going to pay him 32 and change, and we're not even going to get Barkley. How much better does this scenario sound?
Oh, this is so much better.
So much better.
With the money to go pick up some other offensive key players.
And the scary thing is, you got a lot of fans out there flipping out. And they're flipping out because they're looking at the 160. Don't look at the 160, guys. That doesn't matter. That's man behind the curtain. That's all BS. What matters is the cap numbers each year. And the cap numbers are manageable in the first 2 years. It's okay in the third year. And if he makes it to the fourth year, then you're not going to mind paying him whatever that cap number is, because that means he is an elite quarterback at that point. If not, he's gone. I'm telling you that right now. Yeah. This is a 2 to 3 year trial run for him to be the face of the franchise. And see what happens with some weapons. We just got to get him the weapons now.
Yeah, if not, he'll be in the Raiders the next couple of years.
I heard they have an opening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Maybe he'll go to the Jets when Aaron Rodgers retires, because that's the rumor now is Aaron Rodgers to the Jets. We'll see what happens there. But
apparently they did it today or yesterday.
Yeah, they chatted, which means that the Jets have already agreed with the Patriots on trade compensation, because you don't typically do that unless that's already been agreed. Why would you let just anybody talk to them? That's the interesting part you don't hear about yet for some reason. That's the normal thing there. So John asked, who's best free agent wide receiver that we can get? Don't say OBJ and then get another one in the draft. Listen, you will pretty much never hear Rob and I say OBJ is the best one. Now, that being said, I'm not opposed to OBJ being on the team, because there's not a lot of options out there. But I'm not going to pay the man $20 million a year. That's not going to happen.
No.
If I want the best free agent wide receiver, to me it's Jacoby Meyer.
For the cost.
Well, no, I'm not saying for the cost, for who's available. Because everybody else that you would think is better than him is not available as a free agent, as a trade guy. Whether DeAndre Hopkins, a T. Higgins. Yeah, but I'm saying those kind of guys are trade guys. They're not free agents. The free agents are really Jacoby Meyer. They are Juju Smith-Schuster. And then you got a bunch of other guys like Alan Lazard, Marvin Jones, those kind of guys that are not obviously nowhere near the top level, kind of talent. But Jacoby Meyer is a guy who has improved each year. He's a guy who has worked in a bad offense. Let's call it what it is. New England did not have a good offense, And then you didn't hear one word about him complaining about that either, by the way. I should say that as well. Because I'm telling you right now, if I was him and I was in New England and I had Matt Patricia and Joe Judge running my damn offense.
Well, we have 50% of that.
No, because he was running the offense. He was the CEO. I would be flipping out. So he had 14 games this year. He was 96 catches, 804 yards. The year before that, 17 games, 83 catches, 866 yards. This is with Mac Jones. This is with Bailey Zappi. Zappity-doo-dah. This is a guy that is probably the best receiver out there. As John says, is Jacoby a number one receiver? I'll say this. He's a number one receiver, but he's not the best number one receiver. Because he was the number one receiver. He was the number one receiver for the Patriots the last couple of years as well. He's not an elite number one, I guess is probably the best way to put it.
Yeah.
He's a very good receiver, but he's not an elite receiver.
He's an elite number two. That's what he is.
I would even say that, because I think he should be a number one. I think he's earned that.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's your A.J. Brown kind of guy, if that's what you mean.
No.
He's not going to make that kind of move.
So, Adam Lazard, just throw some stuff out there. He had his career best last year. He had 60 receptions, 788 yards. He averaged 3.1 per catch for the year. His long was 47 and 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Other than that, he's put about a half 1,000 yards each season, and he's averaged probably about 4 touchdowns. 2 years ago, he had 8 touchdowns, and he had 3 and 0.
And that's why I'm saying,
only had some yards.
If you got a guy like Jacoby Meyer, and you draft somebody high, okay, there's your 2 spots right there. You got Wan'Dale Robinson coming back, obviously.
Yeah.
You got, obviously Isaiah Hodgins coming back. There's 4 right there.
I mean, part of the reason why I'm like Jacoby Myers, I'm not against for the right cost. I think Lazard might be the best financial cap space, makes the best sense. So you got to remember those yards where he had way less than this past year. He didn't have Devontae Adams on his. He had Devontae Adams on his team. He didn't have it this year. So who was the ball hawk for Aaron Rodgers? This year, Aaron Rodgers fell apart and did not look like Aaron Rodgers, and he still put up, just shy of 800 yards.
Here's the
and
thing,
he wasn't number one. He was fighting with another guy for number one. So they
did Aaron Rodgers fall apart because he didn't have a real number one?
I mean, him and Dobbins were fighting for it.
I'm just saying you have to kind of throw that, and Watson too. Watson actually had a good rookie year for them, surprisingly. But
Watson who's that tight end over there? That guy touching against us.
Oh, Ben Watson, the ageless wonder. The guy's like 45 years old, so he's like 45. He says, "Tell him, Roberto." John, are you wanting us to go ahead and get? I'm
just saying we started this conversation talking about cap space. Half an hour ago, whatever it was. I think you get him for a better price than you can Jacoby Myers.
Oh, I don't dispute that. I think Jacoby has a better ceiling, though.
I don't think we've seen a ceiling on Lazard. That's what I was trying to get.
See, and I think we have because he's played how many years now with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and once again, he was behind a legit elite number one for all that time.
Now, let me ask you this: would you say it's fair to say that Tyreek Hill is the number one?
Yeah.
How's Jalen Waddle doing?
Oh, he's fantastic, but that's also a different story. Waddle had a great year.
So would you say that A.J. Brown is the number one?
Okay, let's look at the yard stat.
You see where I'm going with this, right? You see where I'm going with this?
I hear what you're saying. But at the same time, it's a different scenario in the NFL. Like, look at who Philadelphia played. Their corners weren't that best for half the season. So A.J. Brown looked that much better and let it. Some of the other guys who did put up some numbers play well.
I'm just saying, when you're putting 500 yards up, you are not an elite number two. And if you can't be an elite number two,
that's the thing.
But what I'm saying is, hold on. Hear me out. So if he can't be an elite number two, then he can't be a number one. That's all I'm saying.
But
I'm not saying Jacoby Meyer is an elite number one, but I'm saying he has at least been a legit number one for a couple of years now.
I hear what you're saying. I'm just saying for the price. I think there's a higher ceiling that what this guy is getting credit for.
I think there's a higher price for Meyer, and I give you that, but that's because of the higher ceiling. What I really still want to see is Mike Gesicki. We got the money now. Let's get him. Mike
Wazowski.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, this opens up a lot of doors for us, and I think the fans are so caught up in this $160 million, and as John pointed out in the contract earlier as well, $35 million in incentives potentially as well. But if he gets that money, that means he earned it.
Yeah, you can't argue that.
That means he worked his tail off. He was actually an elite quarterback. So yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with this at all. If we got to pay this man that kind of money to at least have some stability for a couple of years at the quarterback position, and know that, hey, if this fails, what do you think happens if Jones sucks next year? Let's be honest. Let's go worst case scenario for people. What do you think happens if Jones just totally shits the bed and fumbles everywhere?
A lot of Giants fans will fall off the bandwagon.
But here's what I'm saying. The Giants would have a bad record. Is that safe to say?
100%.
Now, what can you do when you have a bad record?
You
can draft a quarterback.
And it'd be way cheaper. I mean, how long is there an out clause?
So,
is it second year or third year?
So we're gonna have him for at least 2 years with this.
That's what I thought.
So you really want to keep him for 3 years based on how it's gonna be, but you can get out after 2 years without too bad. So that's what I'm saying. If we can go ahead and get 2 years out of him like that, worst case scenario is he sucks the first year, and we decide it's time to move on. We draft a quarterback. He's at least there in the rooms. We don't have to rush the rookie into the game and stuff like that. So I'm saying there is no bad way for this. People are so looking at the numbers going, oh my God, this is horrible. I'm telling you guys, $40 million is the new 30. It's the new 30. And if you want to say that he's crazy, look at what Derek Carr got. He got 4 years, 150.
I like that. I'm gonna start saying that more often.
It's the truth, though. Once I'm telling you, once the cap,
because I'm pushing towards 40. So I just
not with age at all, dude. I'm 40. I'm the 40. Listen, when have you ever heard a 30-year-old going, "Oh, 40 is the new 30"? You're one of us. No, they don't say that. They don't say that. They say you old.
Like this.
They say you old. Deal. It's okay. It's better than the alternative. It's either aging or dying. I'll go with the aging. I'll go with it. But like I said, that's the worst case scenario. Is the guy sucks, and we move on in a couple years. And he never got the big years because Derek Carr, though, 4 years and $150 million. He only got $10 million more than Derek Carr. It's not like Derek Carr got 150. We gave this guy 300.
It's true. $10
million over 4 years is $2.5 million a year. $2.5 million a year is nothing in the NFL.
And he pretty much took like a friendly contract with him the last time around too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's nothing. John goes, screw you guys. I'm 53 and feel 63. Listen, John, I'm 40 and I feel 70, so it could be worse, okay? It's the height thing, man. 6'7", every single joint kills me. I wake up some days and I fall down, my back kills me that bad, so could be worse, my friend, could be worse. But at least I have the nice weather here. It's 74 right now.
Wow. 40 over here. We had snow this morning.
Oh, God, no. He goes 70, LOL. You guys have snow?
Yeah, it woke me up at 3 o'clock in the morning over here. It was snow and sleet at the same time, splattering against the window.
We had red tide to deal with instead. It's that time of the year where the red tide is coming in and you can't go to the beach because the air from the water will literally just like hurt your chest till you start choking it out. Basically, it's a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah, this is why when people talk about saving Florida water, that's why, because they don't do it. They don't do it. It's going to be Jersey before you know it.
You guys have dolphins.
We have dolphins.
I know. As I said, you guys have dolphins. And
I know we have dolphins. We have dolphins, yes. Though I will see the Miami Dolphins this year when the Giants come into town for them. But, like I said, I think people are freaking out. I really do. And I want us to kind of be the voice of reason for people. Because, let's be honest, most of the pundits out there want people freaking out. Because if you're freaking out, you're listening, you're watching, you're ranting, you're typing away on your keyboard, you're going all crazy, you're making them a lot of money.
Blowing up the Twitterverse. Guys,
he didn't get overpaid. He really didn't. Yeah. Would I like to pay him less? Yes, I would have loved to pay him less. Don't get me wrong. And I think that he probably should have gotten a $35 million a year contract.
I mean, I said mid-30s the whole way. 36 to 38. And what's the difference at 38 to 40 at this point?
There's really nothing.
Yeah.
It's nothing. Especially when the cap goes up in a couple of years. I'm telling you right now, guys. And I'm going to have an I told you so for anybody who tells me I'm wrong in a year or two. When the cap goes up huge, because of these new TV deals in the next year or two.
I was going to say, YouTube TV, anyone?
When that happens, his contract is going to look small compared to the guys who get signed at that point. Absolutely small. When the guys that are coming out now, I shouldn't even say that. Let's give a guy who's been out for a couple of years. Trevor Lawrence. Here we go. Perfect example. Trevor Lawrence just finished year 2. So he's probably another 2 years before he gets signed again. Gets his extension. Hypothetically.
Yeah.
Assuming he does well and they want to extend him.
Yeah.
If they extend him, trust me, he's not getting 40. He's getting 50. He's getting 55.
I was going to say, depending on where they're at the deal, he might get 60. Depending on how he
I'm
looks.
telling you, this is what's going to happen. This is where the NFL world is going to go. Because this contract they got, all these contracts were massive, and they haven't come down yet. So don't freak out, guys. I know we're New York sports fans. We typically freak out. It's what we do. It's how we're raised. But again, don't freak out. We can just sit back, relax, and watch Daniel Jones do his thing again. Here he is again.
Yeah.
There he is. Daniel Jones counting his money away. Oh, there he goes. Stacks and stacks his wads.
He almost forgot one.
His wads of Benjamins. Oh my God.
It's all about the Benjis.
Listen, don't hate. Don't hate.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
He played the game, and he played it well. He played it well. And this is what I said from the very beginning. As long as he signs a deal, I won't be upset. And I won't sit there and say, oh no, poor Giants, they had to pay him $40 million. They chose, guys, to pay him $40 million a year. So all y'all that were going, Dable's the greatest. I trust in Dable. Joe Shane's the greatest. I trust in Joe Shane. Where's that trust? Where's the trust? Because do you really think that Joe Shane is going to shove a quarterback down Brian Dable's throat if he doesn't fully believe and wasn't fully on board with this decision? You're crazy if you think otherwise. It's not like these guys never worked together. They had a working relationship beforehand. There's a lot of respect there, obviously.
I'm sure by week 16, week 17, Dable and Shane sat down and said, hey, what's a cap that we would absolutely pay this guy? What do we want to pay him? What's the expectations? And what's the cap?
Yeah. And I think it was more, Dable was more, I think, this is what I think of him. This is what I need for him to be successful. I think that was more the conversation.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's absolutely fine to have that kind of conversation.
$40 million in his bank every year.
Exactly, because if that's what he wants, and that's what he's willing to sign for, and it gives you cheap deals on Barkley as well. Because keep in mind, guys, we can tag Barkley again next year. We pay him. I think it'll be the number will be like $12 million next year.
Yeah, I think 12.3 or something.
Yeah. So if you can get Saquon Barkley, 2 years, $22 million, who cares if you're paying
it beat 16
$40 million over to Jones when you wanted to pay him, 36. Barkley wanted to get paid 15. It averages out.
Yeah, same
this
difference.
Deal has economic benefits to the Giants that cannot be understated, folks.
Let's just hope that DJ just goes by Barkley drink. Hey man, sorry I took $4 million.
Buy the house. Here's your beach house.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'll get you a new one next year. But yeah, like I said, I just hope guys calm down, realize what's going on, because this is honestly a great thing for the Giants. And I was down on this deal when I first saw it myself because I saw 4 years, 160. Oh God, no. The more and more I look at it, the more and more I think about it, I'm all game. And I'm not even a Jones guy, and I'm all game.
That's impressive.
Because that's the going rate for a quarterback, guys. We saw this. Yeah. It's not that much higher than Derek Carr got. Jones says, I need to make friends with Daniel Jones quick. Listen, I think we all need to make friends with Daniel Jones. I want a beach house, too. I'm at least near the beach. Like, I can visit it all the time. Like, the beach is like 15 minutes that way, or that way,
we'll have
or
to start
this way,
at
or that way. It's the benefit of being on a peninsula. I'm surrounded by water.
I'm going to have to go hang out at Hoboken or Weehawken where all the Giants
Hoboken. Yeah.
No joking.
Well, yeah, he's going to have a compound here. You ain't getting anywhere near Daniel Jones' house.
Yeah. It's going to be a gay community of House of One, Mansion of One.
Oh, yes. And inside the gated community be Daniel Jones. Just counting that money, counting the money away. Converting it into gold coins and Scrooge McDucking into his money bank.
I was going to say.
Yeah. Here's a good question for you. If you had that kind of money, would you want to swim in it? Because I kind of would.
A little bit.
I'm saying, like...
But I don't see swimming in gold coins being that comfortable.
No, it would have to be dollar
buoyant.
bills.
Yeah.
It would have to be bills, yes.
I mean, if you're talking about millions, you could still swim in $100.
But you'd have to put on scuba gear in case you fell so deep into the money that you couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
Scuba diving through your money.
Just calling people up. Hey, send in the rescue team.
Great problems to have.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I said, we'll see more details as everything comes out there. But, like I said, guys, this is a happy day to be a Giant fan. We got the QB.
The team's back together.
We got the running back. We didn't break the bank to do it, no matter what some knee-jerk reaction people will tell you. We have a lot of money now this year. We can go ahead and make the moves we want to make. And don't think that Joe Schoen doesn't have a plan. We've already talked about this. It's pretty obvious he has a plan.
Yeah, he
definitely has a plan.
5-year plan.
Yeah. So, yeah, the plan is coming. Be cool to have Daniel Jones, Eli Manning, and Phil Simms living on the same street, John says. Listen, John, I'm telling you throw Jeff Hostetler in the mix, okay, at that point. And if Daniel Jones gets a ring, too, as well, we just call it the Giant Ring Circle or something like that. Make it do those round streets. Yeah. Oh, it'd be spectacular. So
sitting there in the driveway playing catch.
So, guys, we will be back on again tomorrow night. So, if any new news breaks out between now and then, we'll be on. I still want to leave you guys hanging here, because then people probably go like, who's covering this? Well, we're covering, because we cover everything, guys.
Right now.
We cover everything. So, make sure to hit that like. Make sure to hit that subscribe. Make sure to hit that bell if you're on YouTube, because you get alerted when we go live and you hit that bell. So, hit the bell. Pretend, yes. Pretend it's a cow, and you want a burger. Hit the bell. Ding, fries are done. Ding, fries are done. But, yeah, so if you guys are watching this live on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Twitch, we appreciate you guys doing so. If you're listening on podcast form, again, we also appreciate. But keep in mind, guys, both are available. So whatever one you want, you have your options here. So hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit all those buttons on all the different apps you have. So that way you can just pick and choose what you want to do. You want to listen one day, you want to watch the next. You want to, sit down on your couch with your bucket of bonbons while you're watching. Just go for it, okay? Want to ring the bell? Okay. Ding, ding, John S. Anderson. Listen, John, you're on here all the time. Feel free to go. Feel free to go onto YouTube and hit the bell as well, because then you will get the notification. Because John has asked a couple times in comments, hey, what time do you guys go ahead and come on again? Because he likes to be on the episodes, and we definitely appreciate you being here, John. So, definitely appreciate it. But like I said, if you want to know when we're actually coming on live, even for surprise things like this that we just had to do today because this happened, hit the bell on YouTube. That's the best way. Because it'll literally pop on your phone saying the Two Giant Goofballs are live. You get that notification right on your phone just by hitting the bell. So, ring-a-ling-ling,
cool mustache.
hit the bell, bell, bell. It's a full-on beard now. It's a full-on beard.
I'm saying...
He's going Apollo Creed. He said a Rocky quote. I wasn't even thinking Rocky because that's a Philly thing. That's a Philly thing. We can't do that at Giants podcast here, John.
Well, Apollo Creed's the one that said it.
Yeah, but it's still a Philly movie. Where's Apollo Creed from anyway? Was he from California or something? I want to say.
Yeah, I think L.A.
Well, yeah. See, I thought so.
Well, at least that's where he trained. At least.
Yeah. You're Adrian.
Yeah, we're not going to quote Rocky 3. That could get us canceled.
Rocky 3. If I do YouTube, my name will be different. That's okay, John. If you go on YouTube, you can just tell us that, hey, it's me, it's John. We'll know it's you.
Yeah.
We'll know. So, again, guys, thank you very much for listening in. We'll be on again, like I said, tomorrow night as well. Tomorrow night is going to be a very, very special episode because we're going to have a lot of guests for you guys here. We're going to talk about the linebackers and everything. So, it's a very important position for us because, let's be honest and say that it was a bad group for us and it has been for quite some time. So we're going to have Marshall Green on from New York Giants Now Chat Sports. We're also going to have the Football Grump and the Cranky Fan from the Just Giants podcast as well. So, guys, we're going to have 5 of us here talking about linebackers. Linebackers that we could sign, linebackers we have. We're going to give a little complaining about them, a little Festivus for the rest of us about that. We're going to go through and talk about linebackers. And we'll give you guys any updates on, obviously, the Jones and Barkley situation as well. Because, as John pointed out in the comments, who knows what happens to Barkley? We might still get an extension done with him. But only if he gets the cap down the first year. Only if he gets the cap down.
Only.
So, again, Giant fans, thank you very much for listening in. We appreciate you choosing these 2 goofballs to get your news from. And, as always, Giant fans, go G-Men! Go G-Men! G-Men! And the masters of Daniel Jones' bank accounts!
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support. If you made it this long, you must have enjoyed it. So I am sure you have followed us on all the social media platforms. Of course, you have subscribed to the show on your favorite app as well and given us a top rating. Right? Right? Right?